All this to the north of this area, this is hail and precipitation and wind. Littlefield, you're right here. But here is where the hook has come around and created a dust cloud because of a tornado. Let's check it out visually. This is what makes these sky cams so powerful. Okay, here we go. Right here, just a few minutes ago, we saw this wall cloud and we began to see a lowering, and we did see a tornado. What is this?
Sorry, Ron.
What is that there? Okay. We're looking at this very closely. We did see a tornado visually on our Skycam. The National Weather Service, and Madison, I'm going to get you to get the timing, but they've now turned this into a tornado warning. What are the dates for this, or the time frame for this tornado warning?
That tornado warning is going to last until 4:30 p.m.
Okay. National Weather Service Lubbock is seeing strong circulation. We saw here at the KAMC studios the funnel hit the ground and create dust, but it dissipated quickly, which is good. That's a good sign. We don't want these to be strong, but you continue to see right in here the lowering very close to the ground. So this storm now has gone to not only hail up to 4-inch diameter, it is a possible tornadic storm trying to get its act together. In other words, it takes a bit of physics to really get the storm to be producing a tornado that can reach the ground. But I saw it hit the ground. And it was a smaller area, and it was right about here. Now it looks like this area right back to the west is what we're looking at now, for this to be a potential secondary area of at least strong wind event around it. A lot of times too, as a tornado right before it hits the ground, there's a great deal of wind called a rear flank downdraft. And that rear flank downdraft helps to get the tornado spinning, and therefore it gets to the ground. Okay, so it's right in here. This is not the tornado. It's right here. It's right in here. It looks like it's getting some precipitation wrap around. Madison, if you have any information from anyone, obviously the National Weather Service is looking at the radar data. I don't think they have a Skycam like we do.
Yes, that tornado was confirmed near Beulah, 15 miles west of Littlefield, and it was moving to the southeast around 10 miles per hour.
Roger. Now let's go ahead and zoom in back to the storm, and let's find Beulah. Beulah is a very small community, but it's been around for a long time. Here's Littlefield. Keep going. There you go. Keep going. I wonder if Beulah is even on our map. But here's Sudan right here. You see that? You see that wrap there? Right there. This is your tornadic area. So it's staying south of Sudan, which is good news. Now Sudan is getting heavy precipitation, but the heavy precipitation with hail is right here. Well, this is a wall cloud here. So let's give you folks in Littlefield some time. What do you need to do in Littlefield after we have confirmed a tornado? We visually saw it ourselves with the Skycam. That Skycam right there. And we thank the people that help us with this, like D. Maka. He knows something about severe weather. There it is, right there. There's the potential tornado right there. And we have a little bit again flanking away from this. So I know that it seems like I'm just mumbling and just talking. That's because I'm looking and I'm trying to put this together, Madison, to me, it looks like it's trying to get a little closer again to the ground. I'm not sure.
I would agree with that assessment, Ron.
So she's in the weather lab, and she's a little closer to the monitor. I will tell you this: if that was, well, the National Weather Service has confirmed it, the tornado, the one I saw too. So that's why we have the tornado warning.
Ron, multiple reports of a multi-vortex tornado actually in the area.
I know. I'm seeing several. And okay, multi-vortex tornado means that there are smaller little tornadoes wrapping around the main wall cloud. And multiple vortex tornadoes are the most destructive tornadoes that I've ever seen. They're not common out here in our region. They're common a little bit more. Oh, here we go again. We're getting funnel and tornado genesis right there. I know your friends, you may not be able to see it right there. Can you see it? Madison, can you see it?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, there's multiple funnels. There you go.
Give it a second to adjust.
Okay, there it is, and it went back up again. But there it is. This is in the way. There you go. Yeah, here we go. All right. It's going to take a minute for it to focus because we're focusing in, and looks like that air conditioner is getting in the way. Maybe kind of tap it back just a little bit. There, right there. Got it. All right. This is a thunderstorm with a tornado. Now, I want to show you. This is a tornadic supercell. All right. Let's show it to you on the radar. Here it is. Here's Littlefield. Here is the meso. In other words, this storm is rotating around, and it has a wall cloud with it, like right there, okay? The wind is going into the wall cloud and helping to spin on this. So as far as I'm concerned, we have a tornado in Lamb County and Littlefield. Take your shelters immediately. And we'll give you your safety rules here in just a minute. Nevertheless, this is a tornadic storm. It's hit the ground now. I've counted twice that I've seen it. And I'm sure the National Weather Service has their spotters, and they're saying the same thing. They're seeing the same thing that we are. The motion is east-southeast. Northwest flow thunderstorms sometimes, and that what I mean by northwest flow is that the thunderstorm was moving toward the north and east, and now it is began to turn more southeast. So it's going from northwest to southeast. Now by the time it gets to Littlefield, maybe it'll begin to fall apart. These storms don't stay together very long. But nevertheless, right now, this is a tornadic storm. Strong inflow into it. The strong inflow, how can I see that? Because there's the precipitation is being forced and the hills being forced back into the storm by the strong inflow of this tornado. So this whole area, and of course this is your square of your tornado. Now that square is still close to Littlefield, and that's why Littlefield, take shelter immediately. And we'll get the safety rules out for you here in just a minute. Well, way to go, Madison. Stay away from windows and doors. And this is not a run for the Ron hill thing stuff now. This is real. Stay away from windows and doors. Go to your basement, interior room, lowest floor that you can. Even a bathroom with a good, have that bathroom in the middle of the house. Any door, any even kind of structure that's inside your home when you have as many walls between you and the outside. It can be a nice closet, if you will. Cover yourself with mattresses, blankets, pillows for protection from the flying debris, especially, my friends, mobile homes. If you live close to Littlefield and you have a moment to be able to go to maybe more of a shelter, you have time if you're in Littlefield and to the east. I wouldn't want you to get out now if you're going to go to the west. Don't do that. Seek shelter in nearby reinforced building or lie flat in a ditch or lowest spot, and never try to outrun a tornado. You know why? Because the storm is always changing. And so it could be that the tornadic portion of the storm now is in front of you, not behind you. That's what these things do. Back to the radar, and again, a classic tornadic storm. By radar only, even by radar, we can see that this storm is rotating. We can see that it's potentially going to create more tornadoes if it continues to do this. Now, one good thing, here's Littlefield again. You folks in Littlefield, I know your safety rules. I know that in Littlefield, you're taking shelter now. And we care about you, folks, in Littlefield. So do it. Get safe. There it is. On each scan of the storm, we continue to see this little inflow notch right there. And so it could create another area of vorticity with a tornado. Let's look at the visual now. Let's see how much it's changed with the SkyCam. And boy, this is why we have the SkyCams, and why people like Lamb County Co-op, we appreciate them helping us. All right, so we have, that's ragged. That's an updraft and it's ragged. Here is our wall cloud. Here's the thing is, this wall cloud could be covering up a potential tornado. That's the problem. That's the problem. But this here is just some ragged clouds next to this wall cloud here. And it's a large wall cloud as it continues to move toward Littlefield. So my friends in Littlefield, you've had some time to do that. We'll go to the velocity product now from this. We continue to see a lot of movement of the clouds with the storm. In fact, what happens is that one wall cloud begins to dissipate and become rain dominated like this. You watch the rain coming down, but look how it's being pushed back up. Look at that. I don't like this. This doesn't bode very well right here. We got to be really careful with this, because we're getting some strong wind on the rear flank downdraft. Now it can keep sometimes tornadoes from forming, a rear flank downdraft. Sometimes it can also produce one. This back in here, this is more than likely some fairly large hail. Any reports coming from the National Weather Service?
They have continued the tornado warning for the area that we're currently looking at. Other than that, nothing else.
Okay. And it's a ragged looking wall cloud now, and it is a bit elevated. But I did see the tornado. The National Weather Service said they confirmed the tornado.
Yes,
I confirmed. We confirmed the tornado. We could see it. Uh-oh. This looks like let's go a little bit to the left. Can we tap it just a little bit to the left? My left. Does it go a little? No, go the other direction. Yeah, there you go. One more. There you go. Okay. All right. Now there's the environment. There's our new wall cloud.
Give it a moment to focus.
Yeah, it'll take a minute. That's our new wall cloud, my friends. Yep. Okay. This is live. You're seeing it. This is trying to create. This is trying to become a tornado. Let's watch this. For you that are in Littlefield, you're in your safe place, right? You sure are. You don't want to be involved in 185, 200 mile per hour wind in your home. We continue to see little small funnels here. This is trying to create yet another tornado. Oh, we're getting right back here. There's the dust coming off the rear flank downdraft right in here. So that's what we have. We have the storm trying to once again cycle into a tornado. Okay, so, well, that's what you do, my friends. You wait. The tornado warning is for how long, Madison?
Until 4:30.
4:30. That's 12 more minutes. That's a ragged wall cloud, but it's getting lower to the ground. We've got some inflow here. Do you see that, Madison?
Yes, I do, sir.
There's some wind going into this thing. My friends, this is a dangerous storm right now. And just like you, where I'm watching it, the wall cloud is very ragged. But this whole little area here is spinning. Okay, it's trying to, through the tornado genesis period, it's trying to create yet another funnel and contact with the ground. One more time, we'll talk about the tornado safety rules. I think most of you that are a part of this broadcast, you know what to do, but for sure, get to your lowest place in your home. You've got a basement, that's great. Okay, here it is. There's a radar right there. Okay, so that, now see, it doesn't look quite as ominous, but go back to the sky cam. Look at this. What's that? Right there. Do you see that, Madison?
Yes, sir.
This is the wall cloud that is trying to create a connection to the ground. And it is low. So I do believe that most people in Littlefield know what's going on, and sometimes you'll see like behind the cloud, that's wind. It's the wind going down to the surface and knocking up some dust. And that's how we get that vorticity to get this into a tornado. Very low to the ground now, very low.
If it's any comfort, Ron, this is not a fast mover. We just got word from the National Weather Service that it's only moving about 5 miles per hour at the moment.
Yeah, it's not moving very much at all, which is great. I think everyone has a chance to be in their safe place. Okay, so let's go to the radar again. We'll keep this ready to go at any moment. But there's the inflow area of the storm. Watch this. You could see when it was at the beginning, when it was right there, and really you could see the precipitation wrapping around quickly. But now it has just become more of the inflow here, and this is the inflow, and then it's out when it's coming out of the storm. Yeah, so you can see what they used to call on the radars, hook echoes. That's a hook echo. Now we have a new inflow notch right here. That's still southeast of Sudan. I'll tell you something else it's doing. Just in case anyone is trying to go up US 84 from Lubbock to maybe Muleshoe, you might want to wait a little bit. This is also a very slow moving storm that's moving on the east side of Littlefield's fine. West side level Littlefield, the precipitation is getting close to them. But this is a very slow moving storm. And that's good. That's good. And what we want to see now that's positive about, we want the rain. Well, what we want is for this wall cloud to continue to dissipate, and it can become a big old thunderstorm complex called a mesoscale thunderstorm, a mesocyclone. And it's just a big old thunderstorm that is rotating, and it drops a lot of water and big hail. And that may be what it's trying to translate into now. The good news is our friends in Littlefield know about this. I'm sure everybody does now. And I think the friends in Littlefield are feeling a little bit more comfortable that they know what's going on with this. Now, the tornado warning will expire here in about, let's see, we have severe thunder. What are our warnings here, real quick?
Still says that it is going to expire at 2:30.
That's the tornado warning or the severe thunderstorm warning?
That is the tornado warning. Severe thunderstorm warning in place till 5 p.m.
Till 5 p.m. So it's really possible that the National Weather Service will not re-broadcast a tornado warning. I don't know. I mean, the hook is still there to a certain degree. The inflow notch is definitely still there. But my friends, just a few minutes ago, I pointed out, you saw the funnel, you saw the tornado, like I did. We could see it. It was a small tornado. Kicked up some dust. It was in the right place to be as a tornado, and that tornado has not been able to regenerate like it did initially. And that could be because of the rear flank downdraft. That could be because of this thunderstorm is reorganizing. going only 5 miles per hour. Sometimes those kind of storms, what happens is that it's really severe, therefore at the beginning stage of the storm, and then the storm becomes what's called now a water machine, if you will. It becomes heavy precipitation. So no matter what, when the tornado warning expires here in just a few minutes, and that's good if they expire it, because they're seeing the same thing we are. But the good news is it's rain. The bad news is it's flooding rain. So all the low-lying areas in Lamb County and around the city of Littlefield, this storm is moving so slow. We would expect this storm to be moving at 25, 30 miles per hour, and it may begin to accelerate again. But at that period of time, 20, 30 minutes ago, it certainly was going very slow as it was trying to develop that wall cloud. Now, we don't have a wall cloud like we did. Let's take a look at the sky cam again, and we see our storm units out there. Well, let's take a look at our sky cam and see what we can see with it now. No, I'm not at the top of the tower, the Littlefield sky cam. Yeah, here we go. All right, yeah, so look here. So now this is just becoming ragged. This is the area of the meso. Look at this. Yeah, all right. Precipitation falling from this area here. Yeah, this heavy rain. This is becoming higher. This tells us this wall cloud is ragged. Meaning, ragged means look at it. This all these little clouds, little fingers, if you will, all this stuff. But that is good news, because that means that the tornado genesis is not going anywhere right now. It could redevelop, which makes me nervous, because storms do go in cycles. But it's moving again. It could become even stronger in about 30 minutes or so. But right now, what has happened is this storm has become outflow dominated. That means the wind is coming out of the storm more than going in. So it becomes outflow dominated. Now, when the one thing that I'm worried about is this here. This is the heart of this thunderstorm. This is your mesocyclone. And this mesocyclone here, see all that? That's wind and dust blowing on the backside of that. And so this mesocyclone here, yeah, it's doing its thing. And it's rotating. It's rotating around. But everything's high base, and the wall clouds appeared to be eroded away. Madison, kind of give me your thoughts about this. We both are learning about West Texas weather. Well, I'll be, when I'm not learning, is when I'm gone from this earth, because we're still learning about this stuff. What do you think, Madison?
I would have to agree, Ron, with what you just said. And taking a look at what radar is doing right now, we do not see nearly as defined of an inflow boundary as what we saw a few minutes ago.
Yeah, there's the inflow notch is gone. Okay, this is radar. What an invention.
Our hook is gone.
Yeah, it's, the British put together a really good program 70 years ago. I mean, this is right here. This is still the meso. The meso's still in there, but it is precipitation dominated and wind dominated. It still has cores of hail all over the place. So, but it hasn't hit Littlefield. I mean, it slowed down significantly. And as it slowed down, well, that gave that storm time to try to get that wall cloud, get that tornado genesis, get that tornado on the ground. And I think it did hit the ground. Madison, do you think it hit the ground a little bit? I thought I saw maybe some dust. What did you think?
I I think it might have just kissed the ground. If it was there, it did not touch down for very long.
Very good. That's a good assessment. And so the tornado warning, that continues until 5 o'clock, and that's 29 more minutes. The National Weather Service is doing that because the storm's moving so slow. All right? Do I think this is a tornadic storm now? No. No, I don't. But we have 28 minutes and counting for the tornado warning, and it could very well find itself another strong area of inflow, but at this point in time, that's not what we're seeing. So friends in Littlefield, you're safe right now, but you're prepared, aren't you? You know what to do. You're still under a severe thunderstorm warning. You've moved your vehicles to a place of safety. You know where your safe place is. You're prepared. If you do all of that, you're going to get through this storm just fine. So we'll come back to this storm. Since we know this storm at least is severe for sure, but let's begin to look at the South Plains. What else is going on besides this monster to the northwest of us? So let's pull the radar out, Madison.
On it, Chief.
Okay, Madison, excuse me 1 second. Hey, Kyle, I hear that you're on this storm. What are you seeing? Kyle, did you hear me?
Yes, sir. Can you hear me?
I hear you.
Awesome.
Were you in a position to get any look at that very brief touchdown of a tornado?
I wasn't quite there yet, but I'm here now, and as of this time, it's real raggedy, and we'll see if it can regain its momentum shortly.
Roger that. Have you run any hail yet, or how are you going around all that stuff?
I'm in sunlight right now, and the back time is the perfect view, so I doubt we'll see any hail unless we get into an RFB area that wants to shoot some at us.
Roger that. And so you're going toward Littlefield, correct?
I'm actually south of Littlefield, just past the highway that takes you. I'm south of Littlefield right now, and I'm on the back side. I got a live picture up.
Yeah, I
while
see
I was
it.
trying to organize.
So you're just south of Littlefield on 84, right?
I'm on a back road going west.
Oh, that was the wrong one. You're on a dirt road.
We are about halfway between Whitcarroll and Littlefield, heading west on a dirt road, just right off the highway.
I mean, this is serious stuff, but at the same time, you have to know Kyle. All right, yeah. So you just jumped on the mud roads, and there you go. So you're out there, and I'm looking at your video. What do you can look at it better than I do. You have your eyeball there. What do you see?
Well, I don't see much rotation. It's trying to organize right now. I think it's in a recycle period, so we will see what it does here shortly.
I know it's trying to recycle, and that's what concerns me as it gets closer to, the Lubbock area. Who knows? Well,
I'm glad that it's slow right now. Slow movement.
It is slow movement, yeah, and that tends to mitigate tornado damage for sure. But from what you can see, we're looking at it pretty close on the sky cam on the wall cloud, and the wall cloud is ragged, and it was not near as low to the ground as it was when the tornado occurred. And we did see the tornado. It was kind of interesting that we could see that from that sky cam. And the environment out where you are, warm air in, or are we getting cool wind out?
It's coolish, and we're getting a little bit of outflow right now. I think what you're seeing is the wall cloud being disrupted by the outflow.
That makes sense to me too. So what is your plan? Are you going to make a move into a different area, maybe further south, to look at the underbelly? What are you thinking?
Yeah, I'm assessing its movement right now, and I'm getting a plan, and I'm going to come from underneath and try to get a closer visual because it's not moving very fast. So that's a good thing for the communities now that it's just kind of just sitting in the field and doing its thing. So.
Oh, and that is a good thing. Let me ask you one more question. I know you're focused on the thunderstorm in Littlefield. That's a severe thunderstorm for sure. But what are you seeing in the environment that you're in, the overall environment out there?
Right now, it's real windy and can't really see too much right now. The contrast is awful, but definitely kicking out some cool winds from where I'm at.
Okay, so you're in some type of outflow, I guess, from the storm from the north?
At this moment, here in a little bit, I'm going to position closer and try to get into an inflow region, and hopefully we should be really close, and if anything happens, we'll be right there.
You sure will. Okay, thank you very much for that information update, Kyle. Okay, so now we've shifted now from Kyle. He's on a dirt road. Hang on a second, one second. What did you say, Sandy? Roger, I understand that. Okay, thank you. Larry, you're going, are you on US 84?
No, sir, we are on 385 going north.
Okay, so you're coming up from the south
of yes, from Littlefield, yes.
No,
south of Littlefield.
But you got on where did you get on 385? Did you get on 385 where?
Okay, so we headed from Lubbock to Highway 84 and we took a left in Anton.
Okay.
On 597 and now we are on 385.
Roger that. So in other words,
we are right at the Lamb County line.
Roger that. So in other words, and I see your video, and it's very difficult for you to make out any features of the storm. What is your plan? What are you guys attempting to do?
We're going to go a little bit further north because, yes, it is hard to see. All we're seeing is rain clouds.
Yeah,
and
precipitation.
Lightning. We're not seeing any features. Yeah.
Right.
Well, there's no precipitation here, but I can see that the clouds, that it's raining.
Okay.
And a bunch of lightning. We can see plenty of lightning.
Okay. When you look,
and it's a little bit breezy here.
When you look to the south, or when you look to due north, are you seeing cumulus clouds, towering cumulus cloud, more development of CBs, or are you completely grayed out?
No, we're grayed out.
Roger that. All right, let's get back to it again on radar, and there we are. We have two storm units on this, and this is becoming a very large, complex thunderstorm.
On the Skyview camera, Ron.
Roger that, because look, this thing, look at this. This storm is now becoming a huge mesocyclone. Now, a mesocyclone thunderstorm doesn't necessarily produce tornadoes. What they do historically is they begin to tighten up and they produce hail, a lot of it, or large hail, a lot of it. Because this whole area, even though the tornado warning is still there, because it was confirmed, again, we saw it. Many of you that were watching, you saw it. But that is not where we are now. The southern end of this thunderstorm is very intense. We're getting intense radar returns. Those blacks that you're seeing there, it's the radar saying, hey, there is something really solid, significantly solid. So that is an area of two things. Large hail, bigger than golf ball size, and also whatever wind debris that's in it. The tornado threw something up in the atmosphere, probably dust, dirt, but sometimes they throw little things like mesquite trees or bushes or whatever too. So that is something that's inside all of this storm. Tornadoes they pick up a lot of stuff. And sometimes it'll be an hour or two later that they start dropping it, literally dropping tree branches and things like that from the sky. That's been known to happen. So that's the wall cloud. There it is. It is bouncing over there. That's the wall cloud. But again, we are not getting anything close to the ground now. And the Skycam, since this is grayed out, there it is. It's getting closer to our camera. Well, I will tell you this, I'm hoping, because if Littlefield gets hit with that, you see these white streaks, that's large hail, and I hope that that you've already got your vehicle to a place of safety, that you're ready to just. We have to just deal with it, all right? So we do the best we can by going to safe places and away from windows, and we just kind of go through this storm system. But also what I'm saying too is I certainly don't, I hope that this wonderful Skycam, I mean, Lamb County Co-op, they've been helping us with this for years. And so I'd hate for this camera to have a slow death if it gets hit with some large hail. So this is another one of the pieces of the KAMC Storm Team Weather Labs triad. Not only storm units, not only do we do forecasts with radar, but we have Skycams. And these become very important on days like this. Well, let's get away from that and go back to the radar to see if anything else is happening, because we have 2 storm units out there that own the storm. We know it created a tornado, but let's look at the South Plains radar. Let's look at the rest of our friends. What are we seeing on the radar that can impact the population around the South Plains? So let's go to Pinpoint Doppler 1 radar if we can.
That is on Lynx 1.
There you go, and there is your thunderstorm. What's that? Okay. Well, it looks like it's about to wrap into Littlefield, and unfortunately it looks like some of the heavier precipitation is moving into that. Man, it looks like it's going to be some hail in the Littlefield area for sure. But these little showers that are popping up, do you see how fast they're moving and trying to connect with this meso? This is a huge thunderstorm, okay? But let's pull it out and look at the rest of the South Plains, because we're not the only one under a tornado watch. Now, is this the only storm on the South Plains right now that's severe tornado warning? Yes. We have showers that have been developing north and west of Clovis, but that's not a severe situation. All the South Plains, including Metro Lubbock, is clear of any precipitation. If we go back down to the southwest just to make sure is the dry line active yet? No, the dry line is not active yet. So the severe thunderstorm warnings and the severe thunderstorm watches, we have a tornado watch, we have a severe thunderstorm watch. 2 of those, yeah, right now, the only thing that's showing up is north of Amarillo. And that thunderstorm north of Amarillo could be what was left over from what we had last night. So just if you go a little bit further to the north, Amarillo, just in case any of you on Friday are going to be driving to the north up the interstate. So if we can do that, let's go to the north on this guy. Yep, there they are. They're right there north of Amarillo, beginning to see their development of thunderstorms too. And some of that is the result of the outflow boundaries from the storms that we had here in the Lubbock area last night. So here's the north side of the thunderstorms. I'm sorry? The first part, who is this, please? DG, did you get there?
I'm here, Ron. Can you hear me?
There you are. And where are you, DG?
I'm in Anton, looking to the west as this thing draws closer and moves to the southeast. I've got it very well backlit. Right now there's a lot of haze and rain between me and the rain-free base area, the area of observation that we'd like to be seeing. But it's getting closer, and I'm just going to wait it out and wait for it to come to me.
Yeah, that's what you're going to do. And you know that the deal is, I don't know what you were seeing, but obviously I know that you know that we did see the tornado. We saw it live. It's one of those rare moments where you're actually looking at the sky cam and catch a tornado there for a minute. That was something else. So when you're looking at your environment where you are, you tell me, do you think there's enough energy for another storm to produce the large hail and a tornado again from this storm? What's your thoughts on this storm that you're on right now?
Absolutely, Ron. I think this one is definitely taking over its local environment. I would not be surprised if it cycles several times before dissipating many hours from now. As I look to the south and I see towering Q going up, it's going up at an angle, which to me tells me we're in a highly sheared environment. Upper level winds are just screaming out of the west. And meanwhile, here at the surface, we've got very moist, cool inflow going in at about 30 plus miles an hour. So it has quite a bit of moisture to work with. It's got the upper level dynamics to support it for quite some time. What was the latest hail report? Do you know? Do we have any hail reports on this?
We do not have any hail reports as far as personal data, but radar is showing 3-inch diameter size hail. But you know as well as I do that that's, you know, you got a little wiggle room in that when you're looking at a radio wave beaming off the storm and it's calculating that it's 3 inches, you know. So
yes, and I agree. I agree 100% with what you're saying. Of course, the most impressive feature that I'm seeing is the haze. We have plenty of moisture. You know, dew points are quite high. The relative humidity is quite high. So this thing has plenty of moisture to work on. And as we've seen the last several days, Ron, you know, unfortunately, the storms are few and far between. But fortunately, where they are, heavy rain, large hail, and in some cases, even tornadoes.
Yeah, and you know, if we can take the tornadoes out, I don't think ag producers, well, most of them haven't really most of them anyway, don't have a cotton field they're trying to get up right now. Most, I think. So the hail just melts and they have some water, or at least they have enough time to get their fields ready to go again. So that's good news. So you're going to remain there on US 84, or what are your plans?
Yes, I was going to wait to see what this does because unfortunately it's moving in the wrong direction.
Yeah,
I'd like for it to be moving somewhere else, but yes, as this thing approaches Lubbock County, maybe even I may head up to Littlefield. I'm not sure. I like the position I'm in, and it's coming towards me. I'm already in a great position to see what I need to, and as the sun gets lower in the sky, it's just going to make visual observations even better. Right now, we're just obscured. We're too far. We're still a bit too far away to see where any potential wall cloud or lowering could be. I have a good shot of the flanking line going into this. And by the way, my stream is up. I'm not sure if
I'm looking at your stream. That you're not as handsome as these clouds for sure.
That's okay. I can live with that.
Yeah.
I can live with that, especially if it gets. And if I need to leave town for it to rain, I'll go to Hawaii if I have to. You know, it's a sacrifice I'm willing to make, Ron.
You're such a great man. That's very nice. All right, DG, we'll continue to follow anything that you are seeing. We want to go back. I guess the best thing we have, we're in between two storm units and a Skycam in Littlefield, and it has been an incredible camera to have. So let's go back to the Skycam. Pardon me? Okay. Let's go back to the Skycam. because it must be getting much closer to the city of Littlefield. Yeah. My friends, this appears to be just becoming a significant precipitation maker. It's becoming a high precipitation supercell. And with us, Kyle, of course, Storm Unit number 2, you're out there in the environment. Give me an update. Did you hear me, Kyle? He may not be. He may not.
Yeah, sorry. You there?
Yeah. Now there you are. You're in bumpy land over there, bro.
Yeah, we're a little bit bumpy right now. We're trying to get to the inflow region right now. Trying to get a little bit better contrast because the sun doesn't let us see too much. So now I'm starting to get where it's wrapping just a little bit. It's not as organized as it was earlier, but if it decides to wrap back up like it was earlier, we'll be able to see it a lot better.
Okay, so your plan is, which way are you going, so that I know where you are?
I'm going north towards Littlefield right now.
Well, that'll be 2 units that'll be there. Now, what about the Skycam? What is it showing? Is that the Skycam?
Yes, it is.
Oh boy. Okay, let's okay. So there's still something going on here. That looks like a rain shaft. Does that? I'm going to come look at that real quick. Just one moment, please. I need a little closer look at this. That is completely changed over the last few minutes. All right, so yeah, this is definitely changing into a high precipitation supercell. High precipitation means flooding and large hail. This is a machine, Madison. This is something else.
I have to agree, sir.
Okay, so there's streaks. So oh more. Yeah, it's full of hail.
If you pointed down at the rooftop, you would see they've gotten quite a lot of hail in the last few minutes.
In Littlefield?
Yes.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. This is the good news is this is not a tornado. The bad news is this is a storm that is kind of like a land cane. It is, the wind is increasing. There's the shelf cloud. Yep. That's exactly what's going on. I'm going to pull that out just a little bit. There we go. Wow. Where? Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm in Littlefield virtually. Okay. All right, so we're in strong outflow. Strong outflow. Yeah. That's strong outflow. Okay. That's what it wants. It's not exactly. Look at that.
That is some gusty wind.
That is a wall of dust, my friend. What is it saying there?
Tornado warning has been extended. I'm trying to look for what has been the fastest reported wind speed around that area.
Yeah, I don't see that either, but I do see. Well, let me come over here and look at Kyle's picture. That's what we're looking. Yeah, Kyle, we're looking at your photo. That's an impressive looking storm. I mean, that is a machine that you're.
Absolutely. I think this thing has ramped up in the last few moments significantly.
Man, now Littlefield, you're ready to go, right? We've given you at least 30, 40 minutes, and the reason we could do that is because the storm's moving at 5 miles per hour. And when the storm begins to speed up, that's when we know the storm is going to be decreasing
Check
somewhat.
out this view.
Yeah. I'm looking on the front. You guys are in the front of the storm now, and that is a lot of turbulence. But one thing too, man, there's a lot of low hanging scud with this storm.
Absolutely. There's tons of scud. It's ominous looking, but right now I don't see anything imminent of tornado.
No, but we know this. It did create a tornado. And that's what makes you nervous. Is
And
that
it can ramp up just as quick and produce one later on, so that's why we're going to stick with it.
well, we're going to have to stick with this because the latest that I understand, the good news is it's moving southeast at only around 5 miles per hour, and that's good news. But right now, I'm looking closer at the actual Skycam from Littlefield, and we've got all kinds of wind and turbulence with the storm, and there it is. So a big wind event's about to happen. Visibilities may be reduced. That's one thing we're going to have. And yeah, this is definitely turning into a what's called HP, a high precipitation supercell. High precipitation supercell. Would you agree with that, Madison?
I would have to agree.
All right. Kyle, do you think this is a high precipitation supercell?
Oh yeah, this is textbook high precipitation. Got a little gust-nado right there on camera kicking out.
I see it. And look, you're zooming on it, right? Yeah. I see it. And look, these things are not tornadoes. They're gust-nados. The wind is coming out of the storm and it's creating vortices, but it's not a tornado. It's not connected to a wall cloud that's rotating. But that does tell you that we've got quite a bit of wind in that area.
Oh, yeah.
Where's Larry? Let's see if we can find him. But the video is. This is a picture or video? That's video, isn't it? Yeah. Oh. Yeah. Well, we're really getting a strong outflow from the storm now. So with that in mind, what I see here, and then I'm going to walk right over here again, what I see there, we are now dealing with a high precipitation supercell. And that is more than likely going to do three things. One, it's going to be able to produce wind near 80 miles per hour, right? Near hurricane force.
Right now, the highest we've recorded is 60, but I wouldn't be surprised if there's stronger wind gusts out there.
There you go. I mean, that's what this kind of storm does. Second, it's going to produce some hail. I don't know what size, but I know everybody in Littlefield has put their vehicle in place of safety. I'm sure they have. And third, the storm is going to begin to accelerate. And as it does, and this is what I'm trying to say now for the metropolitan Lubbock area, particularly the cities of Shallowater on the northwest side, New Deal on the west side of the metropolitan Lubbock area as well. From Shallowater, Abernathy, that area could be impacted. It's moving southeast, and this storm could impact only the northern half of the metro, say from 19th Street north. But at the same time, it continues to recycle, and it could recycle at any time. So with that, we know what the storm is doing now. We have a tornado watch across the South Plains till 10 o'clock tonight. And so I'll make sure of that information. I've been on talking so much and I have to think about this. Yeah, tornado watch until 10 p.m.
Tornado warning has been extended till 6 o'clock.
All right, so the National Weather Service has now issued that as a destructive severe thunderstorm warning until 6 o'clock. And they said tornado? Okay, for sure a severe thunderstorm warning, a destructive severe thunderstorm warning until 6 o'clock.
Sorry, forgive me. The tornado warning expired at 5 p.m., not 6 p.m.
Roger that. Thank you very much for that. And now we know what we're doing. We know for sure we're all in agreement 6 p.m. This is a massive supercell thunderstorm moving toward the southeast. It's probably going to accelerate its speed. Real quick, Kyle, does it seem to be moving any faster? You probably didn't hear me. Okay. 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 All right. Here we go. Let's look. Hey, Larry, this real quick before I give some time to Lauren for some news. We're now in the news segment. But what is the storm speeding up a little bit?
It to me, yes, it appears it is. We are on 1490 near the Lamb County line, and I'm seeing a lot of rotation with this storm, so it's trying to get its act together and do something again. But it is moving very fast to the south.
Okay, Roger, that's what we wanted to know. And they have issued a flash flood warning for Lamb County until 7 o'clock tonight. And of course, the severe thunderstorm warning that continues until 6 p.m. Is that right? For Lamb County. Did we get another warning?
Tornado warning did get extended till 5:30.
Oh, goodness. Okay, so they I know what the Weather Service is doing. Let's get to the wall real quick. They are concerned. Oh, there's the wall cloud. Who? Kyle, turn back to the right. Kyle.
Yeah, give me one moment. I'm repositioning, and I think the tornado threat's starting to increase. Tornado.
Yeah,
and we do have.
I saw the wall cloud. I saw the wall cloud. Are you trying to get back into position? Larry, can you see what? Well, no, you can't see what. Where are your? What's your position? Well, hold it, Kyle. Are you there?
We're moving.
I'm with Kyle for a second. Kyle.
Okay.
Are you there?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. So I think the tornado is starting to increase a little bit on radar, and from my visuals, it's definitely tightening up and wrapping around, and we have a significant inflow notch and a classic hook echo, as you call it. I'm repositioning to get up into the inflow region a little bit better. We should be turning here in a minute, and I'll have a good view. It's really gusty where I'm at on the.
Okay. So you think it's recycling? We got that from you, Larry. From your position, if we can get Larry on here, you got a different angle.
Yeah, so I'll be back up live in just a moment.
Yes, we do. We're gonna reposition real quick so you can see what we're seeing right now. Hold on just a second.
Okay, but while you're doing that, what is that? Your video?
We're looking
Okay.
to the west right now, and we're seeing some rotations with these clouds right now. It looks like it's trying to recycle, like Kyle said.
You're just a little closer to it. Yeah, you sure are. Okay, and so, Madison, bring up the Skycam from Littlefield. Let's pull that up again. I want
Back to Littlefield.
All right, so there we see the precipitation. Oh goodness, and streaks. Wait a minute, is that hail bouncing off of that, or just raindrops?
That is hail. We've gotten confirmation from law enforcement in the area that they have seen grapefruit-sized hail.
Oh goodness, grapefruit side hit. I'm sure hope you put your vehicle to a place of safety. That's for sure, because this thunderstorm has no competition, which we'll show you in radar in just a minute. It is the white that you see in those clouds. The white that you see those streaks. That's hail, and some of it's large. So you do. I'm sure the fine people in Littlefield. The people in Littlefield for sure are, I'm sure, putting their cars in place of safety. So Kyle, so now what are you looking at now? Are you looking at the?
I'm looking into the inflow region. I can't see too much. It's kicking up a lot of dust in the RFD area of the storm. Here in a minute, we're making a game plan, trying to assess the storm motion. It's picking up speed a little bit, so we're not able to sit in one spot as long as we were earlier.
Where are you right now, specifically?
I am just out in Littlefield.
I did not hear that. What'd you say?
Just south of Littlefield on 385.
Okay, so you're south on 385. Larry, where are you specifically? Larry, did you hear me? Okay. He didn't. He did not. Okay, so let's go back to Littlefield Skycam. Because something's going. Okay. Well, the wind in Littlefield for sure now is picking up as the storm continues to move slowly southeast. So this storm is moving southeast, and I don't think I have to tell you that the wind can be a big story, and if there's hail in this, and this is the real heaviest precipitation still just right about here, and that's going to be really, it'll look like a tropical storm once it gets into the city of Littlefield. DG, you've been kind of looking around this and holding off and getting involved in this. What do you see from your vantage point?
I see a lot of spotters. I see a lot of chasers. I see a Doppler on wheels, and I'm seeing a lot of green jade coloring to the sky over Littlefield, Ron.
You know, DG, southeast moving storms, it's not often that they do tornadoes, but at the same time, some of the most destructive tornadoes have been northwest flow storms. Maybe you can discuss that.
I think that's going to be the result of the boundary interactions we've seen over the last 2 days, and you'll notice the weather pattern the last couple of days has been this particular corner of the South Plains. What's interesting to me is that we've not seen a significant pattern shift any further south, no significant development anywhere else today. But I think that quasi-stationary boundary that's just been parked over the southern panhandle is still creating some interaction for all of this today, Ron.
Yeah, and before you know it, this storm is going to take away most of the energy. So for the rest of the evening, this storm may become just good old-fashioned rain. This happens sometimes, my friends, when you have one big monster. Well, that monster's on radar, and just stay with me, DG. Let's pull the radar up instead of the video of DG's